Before I take you to the area, the lake where child murderer Susan Smith killed her two young kids, I want to explain how this story started. Well, in the beginning, Susan Smith had a troubled childhood. She attempted suicide many times and was sexually abused. But later on in life, she married David Smith, and she had two kids with him. The oldest was Michael, and the youngest was Alexander. And they had a tumultuous marriage, and she ended up having lots of affairs, and the marriage was kind of falling apart, so they separated. And Susan Smith pursued another man by the name of David Finley. He was a wealthy business owner. Well, anyway, they had this affair, and Finley decided not to pursue the affair any longer because of that for her having two kids. He didn't want any children, so he ended it, and this frustrated Susan, and she was not in the right of mind. So she was, she had her kids strapped in the back in their car seats, and she was driving around and trying to figure out what to do with her, with her life, when she decided to drive into John D. Lake, and she just wanted to get rid of her kids by just driving the car down there without her inside, of course, and drowning her own kids. And then later on, she would blame that she was carjacked, and a black man kidnapped her and her kids, and he took her and her two kids in a joyride, and it ended up that he dropped them off at John D. Long Lake, where she was found. Well, anyway, that's what her story was, and she pleaded with the. It was a huge news coverage on this thing, and I remember it quite clearly. Uh, she hooked up with her husband again, and he went to the media telling the captor that to bring her kids back alive. She was pleading, and so far the media believed her that she was carjacked, but the investigators saw that she was lying, and they kind of pushed her a little bit longer, and she confessed to killing her kids and drowning them in John D. Long Lake. And now we're gonna take you to the area where she did this. We are at John D. Long Lake in South Carolina. Neighboring town is Union, South Carolina. And in this lake, where my car is parked, that closed gate is the actual site of where when Susan Smith, the child killer, drove her car down here. Without her, of course, but her two kids were in the back, Michael and Alexander. Michael was 3 years old. Alexander was about 18 months old. So she parked her car right in the summit of this ramp. This used to be a cement ramp, and drove her car. Just pushed her car down this lake, drowning her two kids. All of because she wanted to get this guy. She was involved in an affair. This guy named Tom Finley, and he didn't want to pursue the affair because she had two kids. So the best way to get rid of him was just dump him in this lake. And the memorial is close by. Go to the memorial, which is up the road here, right down there, and look at it. All right, we're going towards the memorial. I was in the other side of the lake and I thought that was the place, but actually this is the place. This is the memorial right here. It's about 200 yards from the boat launch. Dedicated to the loving memory of Michael and Alex Smith, whose precious lives touched the hearts of all. Suffered little children to come on to me. There's a bunch of toys here so they can play with. In loving memory of Michael Daniel, born October 10th, 1991, and Alexander Tyler, born August 5th, 1993. Heavenly birth, October 25th, 1994, Smith. These poor kids. What do you have to say, Bob?
Very sad area. Had I known, I would have brought a toy.
Oh yeah. There's a sign over here. So I guess that was the actual location, right? I don't know. Well, just wanted to show you the place where Michael and Alexander lost their lives because their mother was having problems in her life, and it's no excuse to murder two children, but rest in peace, you two. It's quite a rainy day today in South Carolina. Where Susan Smith, she had a red, I don't know, 1989 car. She put the car here with her kids inside and pushed it down this lake in October 25th, 1994. Yeah, 3 years, yeah, in 1997, a family in a minivan parked their car right over there. Because they didn't put it in gear, and their van went down with 7 people inside right down this lake, and 7 of them died. So this lake claimed 9 people, including Michael and Alexander.
Is this area supposed to be cursed? Indian folklore?
I don't know. So yeah, how tragic. Very tragic. This is another view of the boat ramp. They put grass on it. Nobody's allowed to come down here anymore since 9 people lost their lives here. So this is the actual spot where Susan Smith drowned her kids, judging from pictures.